Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope that you have enjoyed your holidays. My name is Amir. I'm back with some videos. I'm trying to, record more videos regarding Beam data management, which I'm currently using in a real construction project, big projects. I mean, so I think that would be helpful. So I've been approached a lot regarding some of the videos that I posted on how we can connect the data from Revit to BIM models, to from BIM models, sorry, to Power BI. So it's a very simple process. I'm going to explain you in three major steps. So you can do it. It's free, and it just need Autodesk account and access to Autodesk Construction Cloud, or previously BIMCC, or now ACC. So here I have Revit 2020 3.1. I have a sample Revit structural model. So what you need to do is only make sure that this file is collaborated, so on the cloud, and then you can easily install a data exchange add-on, and also you need to install the Autodesk Power BI connector to be able to use the data exchange as well. So if you go to the Autodesk App Store, if you search for Data Exchange, you can install Data Exchange for different Autodesk products. And if you search for Power BI, probably you can get the Autodesk Power BI connector. So you see it's free. You can download and install on your project, and it is fully supported by Autodesk. Also, some videos of how it works as well. So I'm going to go and walk you through the details of that. So I have a Revit model here. It's collaborated on the cloud. So we have two major steps. So one is to create our data exchange, and the next step would be to connect our data exchange to Power BI. So we have two options to create our data exchange. Either is use the data exchange add-on, or if we and use the same model that we published on ACC with the same view that we want to actually work on. And then you can easily right click on that and create data exchange. And it creates a data exchange. You can put a name also where you want to save that data exchange and create the data exchange, and then you're good to go. But sometimes there are some compatibility issues. It's better to use the direct plugin or add-in from Revit. So I click on data exchange, create new data exchange. So I call it the same name as my view. So I use the address. I can just select this one, and you can even also filter your data exchange based on a selection, which categories, for example, you want to import. If you select it on none, it will actually export everything. But if you put on category, you can select the categories. Okay, here I want to only export floors and walls, for example. But in this case, we're gonna export all. So we don't have a selection. So we export everything visible in the view. So we create a data exchange and wait until it is finished. So now you see our data exchange has been created. So we can easily use that in Power BI. If we go to our ACC, if I bring my ACC back here, you can now see the data exchange file, which usually shows as a 0 kilobyte file, is being uploaded. So we need to wait until this is processed. So now your data exchange is created. It's like publishing Revit files. You need to wait until it is processed on ACC. And if you click on that, you can see that the same 3D view that you could see when you open the Revit file, it's available here. Even all the parameters or the properties have been transferred, which is great. Now we have our data exchange. It's time to jump into Power BI. So let's open Power BI. So here's a blank file. So once you install the Autodesk Power BI desktop connector, which I told you from the from the Autodesk App Store, you will be able to connect your Revit. What you need to do just to import the visualization card. So right click here, import visualization from a card. And this is the path that usually under your user, it will be installed. So you connect, and now the visualization card is imported to Power BI, and you can use it here. You can expand it the view, move it a little bit. So now we have our visualization card. So what you need to just connect your data exchange to this file. So we click on go get data, other. You have the Autodesk data connector for Power BI. Click on that. You select, and you select your source, which is data exchange. You can copy paste the URL, but which is good. So we have it. If I go back to here, I can right click on my ACC, click share, link, copy the link, and then I can come back here. This is optional. You can also directly connect, follow the steps and connect that. But you can put the link here. You can choose the unit, and you can use no selection for filter. I show you, you can, for example, select, I just only need these specific categories or elements with this specific parameters to be exported, so you can minimize the size of your data. But here we have reasonable model in terms of size. So we click on no selection and hit on go. So then your data connector start connecting to our ACC and bring that data exchange as a table. So what it does, it just converts your BIM model into a tabular data format. It's like an Excel file, so you can bring it into Power BI. So it's understood by the system. So you just need to load. So we wait until it is loaded. So now our data is loaded. Let me just put a effect on that so we can just kind of see the boundary of our visualization in Power BI. So now you can see that our data table is transferred. So you can see that two steps have been mentioned here. So you just need to follow these two steps in order to bring your visualization. If you select on this visualization card, you can see that it needs 1, 2, 3, 4 major fields, or kind of, I can say, required fields that you need to fill in with data. And then you can also add colors to your elements. So I'll explain how. So if I expand the data on the step 1, it's mentioned a search for dot viewer. So that's it. We only search for viewer. We find that, and we'll bring this guy to the viewer tab, and you can see in a second your model is loaded in Power BI. Okay. The next step is to complete the fields, so the connections are set up, so you can filter the elements, using different slicers in Power BI. So I'll show you. So what you need to do is just to here search for external element ID. We can go directly to ACC. So the next step is to bring the external element IDs to all of these fields. So we bring this to field number 1, field number 2, field number 3. And even for the colors, we can use, for example, the categories. So if I search for categories, I can add colors to the elements based on the categories. And even I can adjust the color. So you can go to the data color. So for example, for floors, we can use a gray. Then the rest of the colors are good. Now it's time to, add a slicer. You can add a slicer here. And again, bring the categories as your filter. So you search for categories, you bring your data here, and there you go, you have it. And also you can, select on categories, and you can see the different objects. So for example, if I select on floors, I can only see the floors. Structural columns, I can see structural columns. And we can, for example, here bring the column, the volume of the elements. So I can add a visualization card here and bring the sum of volumes. So it shows the total volume of concrete in our project. So if I select wall, I can see that the volume of the concrete is this number, structural foundation. I can see that. So we can, add as much as information data you want. So you can add a table here, and you can, for example, here search by family name, or type name, family and type name. Put them here if there are some. If yeah, put the family. Maybe it's better. And then you can add for example, volume next to it, so you can have it as a table. And then you can see you have all the elements based on your slicer, and your volume is also here. So you can select based on the slicers. For example, again, structural framing. You can see all the framings in this project. Also, you can do selection like this. You can select floors, and it's also so you see it's a two-way connection. So as you see, it's easy. It's very straightforward. Three major steps: collaborate your file and create your data exchange in Revit. You have two options: either use the plugin in Revit or use data exchange directly from ACC. Then download and install the Autodesk Power BI connector, which is free, and then connect your data and fill this information. Then you will be able to modify your data. Also, if you're an advanced user, you can go to the transform and start using the Power Query to modify your data. You have all your data here. You can use Power Query to modify data. To clean your data and then close and report it back again to Power BI. The most important thing that I want to mention at the end is just it's better never, if you want to use Power Query, do not delete the rows, because it will disrupt the functionality of the visualization. If you want to exclude some rows, which means categories, for example, you don't want to export reinforcement or I don't know, for some reasons floors, you just want to see the columns as a category, and to make your data row numbers less, it's better to use in the category in the filter selection when you want to connect your to Power BI data connector. It's better to use selection, yes, and then give the software your input for selection, and then continue. So this is how it works. You have the ability to do some kind of cool stuff here, like what you have in the Autodesk Construction Cloud Viewer. You have the properties of elements. You can isolate elements. You can see the tree. So you can do the same thing with a federated model in Revit, which has the links. So you have mechanical, electrical, and all of this stuff, but it will get larger. And if if you have more than 15,000 elements, 20,000 elements, so it would be problematic for Power BI to visualize that currently. For example, in this model, if we count the number of element IDs in this project, it's nothing. So it's around 1,000 elements. So, but if it is getting more than 15,000 elements, then the whole system starts showing some lags, and it would be slower. So I hope that you enjoyed that video. Please feel free to comment, and if you have any questions, I can help you to set this up in your project and impress your managers. Have a good day. Bye.